Hey, welcome to another episode of Bravo, We're Black. This is a solo one. I hope that you enjoyed a little prestige talk with Jay yesterday. And on Saturday, I have got a guest that you will all love, of course. But I just wanted to know in a quick little ditty, not ditty like ditty, like a quick little conversation between us girls, gays, and theys. Should we be worried for Kristen Bell? Because what the fuck was that post about? Especially when most femicides occur by the husband. To even put that on Instagram, it alarmed me. I'm not even gonna lie. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, okay, so today is the day that Nobody Wants This comes out, and um recently it was their anniversary. That's what I'm thinking about. And Dax Sheperd, who has infamously struggled with, I think that he struggled with, like, I want to say substance abuse. If that's not true, I don't want to put that on him, but I think that he was pretty open about that. But anyways, he took to Instagram to give like a happy anniversary post. Well, no, she took to Instagram to talk about their anniversary. And in the post, there were some alarming things that were said as laughed off as a joke, but it was just like, even if it is a joke, why would you post this? Why would he say this? And why do you not see any red flags about that? Like, is she posting this because she's worried? Is she posting this because she really is that tone deaf? Or is it just general like innocence? So this is what happened. She took to Instagram over the weekend to commemorate the couple's 12th wedding anniversary by sharing a sweet photo showing her giving the actor a big hug while the two sat on their bed. She captioned the photo, "Happy 12th wedding anniversary to the man who once said to me, 'I would never kill you. A lot of men have killed their wives at a certain point. Even though I'm heavily incentivized to kill you, I never would.'" And then she put a red heart emoji on the post. I'm like, I'm truly speechless on why she would post this. Like, girl, was this your blink twice? Like, do we need to come save you? She plays Anna. Like, do I need to get a hold of Miss Elsa, who's probably doing like Wicked press tour, even though I don't know if they're in the second part, but like, what is going on? Why would you post that? And why would he say that? It doesn't have me looking at her weird. It has me worried for her. It has me looking at Dax Sheperd weird because he's already like a weird guy in general. And he's had some struggles in the past, and they've revealed all kinds of things on that podcast. But what bothers me the most is a lot of people were pointing out that it was Domestic Violence Awareness Month and that's why it's tone deaf. I don't think that that's why it's tone deaf. I feel like even if she posted it in May, like, it could be Men's Appreciation Month, which there should not be one. But you, why would he say that? I would be very incentivized to kill you. And I think that she posted it because she thought it was a funny joke, but I don't think that anyone, even once you type that out and you're about to press post, you don't like go through that process and think about, hey, how can this come across? When we are watching TV shows, we don't even need to watch TV shows, frankly. When we are watching in real life, women get killed by their husbands all the time. Their husbands are planning to kill them. Their husbands, um, maybe not even killed them, but just like assaulted them. why would you post that on Instagram to celebrate your anniversary? Like, what kind of it was just so bizarre to me. And I will be thinking about this as it couldn't come at a worse time because I will be thinking about this as I watch Nobody Wants This and we all swoon over Adam Brody, who seems to be like every woman's wet dream. I'm gonna be thinking, hey, she needs to be with Adam Brody when no, Adam Brody is with Leighton Meester. Like, first of all, let's not. I was hanging in the corner with my five best friends. I heard that you were trouble, but you couldn't resist. Like, that's my gossip girl. I am not going to take her man away just to give him to Kristen Bell because I think that they have amazing chemistry. But yeah, that was just weird. That was weird. That was super, super weird. And I just hope that she's okay. And I hope that her friends check in on her. And I hope that this was not a call for help. I hope this is very just misguided. But if anything were to happen to her, I want to put you on notice, Dax Sheperd. I'm gonna look right there in that damn camera and tell you if something ever happens to Kristen Bell, I'm on your ass like white on rice. Know that. Okay. Let's get into some Bravo stuff. Not stuff, but something about Bravo that did not make it to the Saturday episode. Kim Zolciak confirmed her romance with Kyle Mowitz in a Q&A on Instagram stories. So she said that she's dating Kyle Mowitz. They went on their first date and they've been together ever since after 2 years after she filed for divorce. So I'm kind of like not sure what timeline that is. It could have been in March, apparently. He's an entrepreneur. I've never heard of him. I'm trying to see like, okay, what kind of entrepreneur are you? Because she got a lot of kids. And when you got that many kids and you're taking on that many a woman with that many kids, you got to have coin to do that. And they are famously her and Croy are both famously broke. Like she was selling stuff out their house constantly, like calling the police, which was an abuse of power and only a privilege that a white woman has. They were calling the police every which way just a few months ago. And I wonder if Kyle stuck around for that. But I hope he has a lot of money. There's a lot of stuff that's like coming up. Okay, let's see. Moitz graduated from FSU, the nose, okay, in 2003 with his bachelor's degree in real estate and finance. Um, they don't really say what he does. How much is his net worth? Moitz is the co-founder. Okay, here we go. Moitz is a co-founder and managing partner of Imperium Companies and Imperium Blue Management, based in not my hood, based in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and Atlanta. So that's where he met Kim, in Atlanta, with a combined total of $3 billion in assets. The family office owns and manages over $4.5 billion in assets through its portfolio companies and its wealth management platform. Mowitz is responsible for Imperium Blue's overall structuring, acquisition, and financing activities both domestically and abroad. He's also a board member of 2 medical companies. Oh, that medical that medical money is long. That prescription money is long. Kim, hold on to him. So he graduated from college in 2003. How old does that make him? He's 44 and he's currently embroiled in a $100,000 divorce from Green, with whom he shares 2 minor children. Zolciak was dragged into the divorce battle when she was served a subpoena by Green in late September. After he filed for divorce from Green in March, Zosiak was asked to submit any and all documents regarding or pertaining to her financial relationship with Kyle Mowitz, including but not limited to gifts given or received by Kyle, expenses paid on her behalf by Mr. Mowitz, or any business in which he is connected, monies loaned to her, and monies paid to her by Mowitz or any business in which he's connected. So they're trying to figure out how much money he's spending on Miss Zosiak and her coochie. Kim, this is messy, but I don't understand why it said $100,000 divorce. If his ex-wife just wants $100,000, he should just give it to her. They have a child or 2 children together. He's managing portfolios worth billions, and I know that doesn't necessarily make him a billionaire, but if you got enough money to pay for Kim Zosiak and whatever she needs, then you got enough money to pay for your child. So that's wild. Um, so yeah, let's see what else is going on. Let's just go into some hot topics. I don't really necessarily want to talk about shows today. I just want to go through some hot topics. Oh, by the way, you guys, when Kristen Bell had that whole thing happen, she skipped the Today Show. She was supposed to be on the Today Show, and she skipped the Today Show, but she went to the red carpet. So she know that she fucked up. I don't know how you like. I think that she should just not address that like at all, because that is, that's just something weird to talk about, honestly. Jelly Roll cheated on Bunny, which I want you to Google who Jelly Roll is and then Google his wife Bunny, and I just want you to see what nerve men have, because that is wild to me. Oh, you know what we can get into that we didn't get into too much yesterday? Love is Blind. Okay, so let's go through the couples. We had 3 couples, 3 no's. The first couple was Allie and Homeboy. He said I do. She said I don't. I'm so glad that she opened her eyes. There's just something not cleaning the milk with him. And I don't know if we'll find out at reunion more or if there's already more circulating, but it just made total sense why she would say no. He was just very judgmental. He just wasn't right for her, and she deserves to go on maybe like Perfect Match and just really get to know other people. Not to say that the people in Perfect Match are perfect, but I don't think that she needs to get married right now with these people, with especially a man like that. Like, he was judging her harshly while also sipping mimosas right in the morning, right after work, because they both worked the night shift. Mind you, he was the one who's driving. Like, you are a truck driver, if I'm not mistaken, and you're sipping mimosas and you're trying to influence her, who's a nurse, who has people's lives. And you know how I feel about nurses. Like, you cannot say nothing about nurses around me. The only thing that I say is, like, if you do not like people, please do not go in the medical industry, because we suffer so much from that. But as far as other people talking about nurses, I do not put up with none of that shit. Because to be able to be in the medical field in any kind of way, but especially to be a nurse, you take on so much in your personal and your professional life that you don't need someone who's going to judge you for being a little bit messy. And that was like her only flaw that we physically saw, other than, she likes to spend some money. But nurses themselves make bank, not nearly enough as they should, but they make bank, baby. Like, they can pay for their own. And that's why she's so good, like, on her own, because she can afford that life. So I feel like if you are coming in her life and you're trying to like lower expectations and bring her down and try to find one thing that's wrong with her because you don't have your shit together, you got to go. They get to, I honestly thought that she might have like made the mistake and said yes, but I don't know, something about last week, I'm like, yeah, maybe she'll come to her senses because she's worked too hard to get where she is to settle for whatever that was. So then we go to the main one, the talk of the season, Calibria KB. God, like I was so scared for a minute that she was gonna say yeah. I was literally like shaking in my boots that she was going to, because the way that she the way that she talked about Edmund was like, I'm truly in love with this man. Well, no, actually, she specifically said that she loves this man, not in love with him. So the way that she talked about him, I'm like, maybe she let it get to her and she thinks that she can make it work. But I was just screaming at the TV, don't let little moments of light make you ruin your life. Like they should not have been married. No one on this, and as much shit as we talk about Love is Blind, and especially this season in particular, no one on this season should have gotten married. We should have actually had the weddings last week and got it over with. But instead, they wanted to drag it along and like put us on like a freaking, what do you call it? A cliffhanger to see if someone would have made the mistake of saying yes. But KB, she talked about Edmund like, oh, I love this man with all my heart. He deserves so much. And then she was also the person that they put on the card for Love is Blind. Like it's her in a wedding dress looking back, looking beautiful. And I'm like, there's no way, right? Because I didn't look up any spoilers. I didn't really like see anything this about this show at all. So then they get to the vows. Edmund, like they both give beautiful vows, which is wild to even give vows when it's like we don't know what people are going to say. Edmund says, I do, which I expected, which he should. I did think that the relationship between him and his teacher was beautiful. I loved seeing that. I just think that it's it showed how that's another, don't bother the teachers either, baby. But that just showed how involved teachers can be in your life, how involved teachers change your life. It was just nice to see. Um, but yeah, I like seeing that. I like seeing KB's mom go and talk to Edmund. Um, and in a sense, I do feel sorry for Edmund, and I want him to get someone who he deserves, who he can be himself with. And I do think that he tried, obviously. And I don't think that he's a bad person. He's not a bad man by any means. Like Edmund, at his core, I think he's a sweetheart, but it's just too much to take on emotionally for KB. And that's the real tea. That's the deal. But so he says yes. She says that she can't commit and that he deserves someone that can, commit to him and agree to it. And he starts that carrying on again, which I'm like, KB, if you felt bad, this should solidify you made the right decision. And it was sad. It was just really, really sad because KB really tried. Edmund was all in. It just shouldn't have been, they just shouldn't have been together, like at all. And then lastly, we thought we were going to see possibly a wedding. We didn't even get to a wedding, baby. Jordan and Sparkle Megan have a conversation. And this is why I'm like, I know that we asked for maybe more mature people, but I don't think that kids should be involved. Yeah, I think that when we're matching people up, we shouldn't have kids on Love is Blind. And that's a controversial statement. And I know it's not that I don't think that people with kids deserve to find love. I think that when you involve kids, you're now taking this to another level. Because you should not be introducing someone and telling someone, like, not even someone, a child, "Hey, I might marry this person," that you don't know, the child does not know, the child's mother does not know. You're putting this out for the world to see. They have to watch the show. And then if they end up like, okay, worst case scenario, they don't like the person and you guys don't get married, cool. But if they end up liking the person that you're supposed to marry and then you guys don't get married, it's like, well, what the fuck? And that messes up a child. Introducing children to romantic partners is something that you can only, think about and feel it out when you're in that situation. But it should not be on a show like Love is Blind when you're not even sure yourself. And although she did it before the actual wedding, because at the actual wedding, I think that his son would have been there. Um, I think it's best that at least they did it before the actual wedding. But it still is a weird thing. It's very weird. Like it's very hurtful for a child, especially a young child. Like you're supposed to be marrying this woman. I met her. I like her. We had a good time. And then now you're not marrying this woman. And then on top of that, I'm gonna have to this happened like like a year ago. On top of that, I'm gonna have to see this play out on TV for the rest of my life because it's fodder for people to talk about. So yeah, I don't think that they should do that. I think that they should do older people, um, established people. Well, not necessarily established. Like there shouldn't be like a box that you have to check off, but older people who actually want to get married and just look at their past also. But the tea is apparently Sparkle Megan might have already done had a baby. And it's wild because her reasoning was that, and I said this, I kept saying that it's not the word fetishizing. It was just like romanticizing the fact that her dad had diabetes and then this kid has diabetes and maybe her dad is sending her Jordan so her and Jordan and the son can have this life and she can take care of him and they can be a happy family and her dad knows that she needed that or whatever. And she kept using her dad basically as an excuse for their relationship. And I'm like, but what do you like about Jordan himself? She should have been with Mike. I'm sorry. I told y'all. I told y'all, niggas. I told y'all. She should have been with Mike from the get go. I said this. So, child, she might have a baby because page 6 caught a man, a mystery man who we don't know, leaving her house with a look like a newborn baby. And if you look at the promo for next week's episode, this is probably already something that's trending on Twitter or Threads or whatever. I haven't looked at it yet because I have a lot of shows that I want to watch. I want to watch Nobody Wants This. Me and Raven are doing our Vampire Diaries rewatch, and I'm finally on the part where they introduce Klaus. And once you introduce Klaus Michelson, it's a wrap for me. Klaus Michelson is I'm sorry, y'all. Klaus is just my man, my man, my man. But yeah, there's a lot to watch. I mean, I just finished Gen V, Dancing with the Stars, The Golden Bachelor. There's just so much. There's The Housewives, like, but yeah. So that's why I haven't been on social as much, and I didn't want to get Love Is Blind ruined for me. And I felt in my heart of hearts, like, okay, no one should get married. So, there's a baby that came from her house, and I don't know I don't know whose baby it could possibly be, because if it was like her sibling, I imagine that the baby's mother would also be there, but I don't know. But most importantly, in the preview for next week, they're like, "Oh, you're not ready to be a mom," and she's like, actually," and she has like an announcement. So I don't know when the reunion was taped because this season feels like it's a little bit different. But the reunion was already taped. She might be announcing that she had a baby. Like her whole thing was, "I'm not sure if I want to be a mom yet." That's always something when someone says, "I'm not sure if I want to have kids." I would say that's like 80% they mean it and 20% it's the person. When someone says, "I'm not sure if I want to get married," it's 70% they mean it and 30% it's the person. So either way, like I would honestly be pissed off if I was Jordan because your whole thing was, "I'm going to meet your son. I can take care of your son. I'm going to be such a good mother to your son." I'm okay with the fact that, that I think that he was the one, yeah, he was the one who already had it chop, chop, snipped. And she was okay with possibly like not ever being a mother or whatever. And it was just like, okay, if you're okay with not being a mother, but you also are going to be a stepmother, what is the truth, honey? Like, and it just turns out it just wasn't with him. But I am glad that she went to him and talked to him about it before we got to the weddings because that would have been more traumatizing for the child. Because it's like, what do you mean you had a whole wedding and someone said no? But child, yeah, that's the tea on Love Is Blind. I just want to get on here and yap for a bit. I hope you guys are enjoying the show. Like I said, on Saturday we will have a guest and I will be yapping along, guys. I hope that you guys have had a good week. I love you and I will talk to you later. Mwah.